Shalom, family. Hey, peace, family. I would say Shabbat Shalom. I hope everybody had a good Shabbat, a good Friday evening, Saturday. Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday. And may it carry through to next Shabbat, right? Welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie Selah, and today I'm on my Jackie Seed Sower duties. Last week I ran across a couple of videos, and it was one of those things where, if you are a truth seeker, you do research, you study, whatever, that sometimes you will notice that other people are on the same frequency, and you could tell by the work that they put out. They're thinking about the same things. You're thinking about studying on the same things you studied or research. I know that used to happen all the time, but not so much lately, but it did happen last week, because I was really thinking about this fake history that's been told about the copper-colored Indigenous American. The people of the book, the Israelites, for those who identify as Israelites, for those who don't, the Indigenous American Indian. At any rate, our stories are false. The stories that have been told are false, I should say. Not our story. Our true story is our story. It happened. But this fake history about slaves being captured in Africa and brought over, that whole thing, that's, generally just not true. Now, I can't say there may be some people that's their history, but we know that if that is the case, they are by far the minority. There were millions of copper-colored Indigenous people here already, living on their God-given land. Understand? So let's talk about it. How did this story spread? How did that happen? When Granny told you were American Indian, yet somehow this African slave story became our thing. So let's talk about that, y'all. So I got a couple of videos here. Let's go ahead and check them out. And give me 1 second. Okay, so here we are. This first video is put out by, the name of the channel is Aseer, the Duke of Tears. The name of the video is The Sinful Saga of the Salsbury Steak. Aseer is a self-identified Moor. He identifies as the descendant of Canaanites, Moabites. And I do enjoy listening to his channel from time to time, because he will talk about history, in particular, as far as my interest, history that took place here on the Americas from a Moor perspective, or should I say a Moabite perspective, Canaanite perspective. Now, if you know biblical history, you know that the Israelites lived and the Moabites lived around each other. Now, they didn't always get along. For the most part, the Moabites and Israelites were enemies. There were times where they got along, but at any rate, they lived around each other. And so I can appreciate when this brother talks about American history. It is from a Moabite perspective, not an Israelite perspective. But the thing I can appreciate is that they were here. Okay? So they were here and saw events that Israelites also saw. And I can damn sure appreciate their perspective more so than the perspective of a foreigner who was across the ocean that likes to spread his speculation of what they think took place. You understand? All right, so in this video here, on the part that I'm going to start at anyway, he is going to be talking about what took place in regards to the 1904 World Fair, things that happened around the World Fair, as far as how did these fake stories about the so-called Black American become so prevalent? How did that happen? So I think it's real important for us to understand not only who we are, which we have that down pat. Let me just say, we've slaughtered that lie about us not being indigenous. We absolutely are the indigenous Americans. This is our God-given land, and we proved that very well. But another part of the picture is, let's try to figure out, like, how did that lie spread? We got this puzzle. The pieces are put together so beautifully, but let's also take a look at how did this happen. All right, so here we go with our brother once again, Aseer, the Duke of Tears. Pop off.
You're lying. But they're giving us the history based upon the fiction that was given to us by their compatriots. Look, it can all go back to this nigga. See that? Nate Salsbury's Black America, Part 1, Points West Online. Okay? Points West Magazine. Okay? In spring 1895, Nate Salsbury, Buffalo Bill, and the partners in the Wild Wild West extravaganza masterminded an extraordinary new entertainment featuring hundreds of theatrical musical performers, imaginative scenery, and educational historic programming that rivaled the Western exhibition. Salsbury applied his experience gained from molding the Wild Wild West into the era's most popular outdoor attraction to showcase look at the line. Whenever there's a line, what do they let you know? That is some lying going on, some hiding going on, to showcase pre-Civil War lives of Negroes. See, they put the line in front of it though, right? Look, yeah, one part of that was France, what we call Louisiana. That's old France or old Paris and all that shit. Look, educational programming, okay? Look, to showcase pre-Civil War lives of Negroes. So this is entertainment. Look, educational historical programming that rivaled the Western exhibition. So none of it's real. Salsbury applied his experience gained from molding the Wild Wild West into the era's most popular outdoor attractions. Now, he takes that same propaganda to showcase the pre-Civil War lives of Negroes. Okay? He called the new program what? Black America. Islam? Just as the Wild West depicted a rapidly disappearing frontier, Black America would represent the bygone antebellum era. Northerners were acquainted with the period only through published accounts of slavery and plantation life that they read. Does that sound familiar? That's like you today. You was never enslaved. You was never put under no plantation to pick cotton and shit, right? But you reading about niggas that did it a generation before and almost 5 generations before that. They had to be shown this because those people were told about some shit that they heard about but never seen, but seen through books. Do you see what I'm saying? Look, slavery and plantation life they read, or by hearing, look, garbled stories, lies of life south of the Mason-Dixon line. Look, Mason and Dixon, we get to them in a minute. How then did Salsbury, a white soldier turned actor, become a purveyor of Negro culture, history, and music?
Yeah, how, Sway? How? How did these folks become experts? Because they're experts on lies that they create. Y'all see that? You see that? The Northerners didn't know nothing about what the Southeastern American Indian was about. They didn't know nothing about us. Only what they read, only what they were told, only what they heard. Okay? So there you go. That's the propagation right there. That's part one. You see? All right, so let's go on to the next video. So once again, before we go, thank you to Aseer, the Duke of Tears. Again, the name of this video is The Sinful Saga of Salsbury Steak. By the way, check out this man's name is Salsbury. And if you know what Salsbury steak is, you know it's not really steak, right? All right, so how appropriate is his name? Jackass. All right, let's go on to the next video, y'all. All right, we're back. We're on to video number 2. This comes from the channel House of Cons. It's my brother BlakJakk. The name of this video is Our Native Americans in the State of Denial. This video, let's see, Aseer the Duke's video came out about 11 or 12 days ago. And then BlakJakk's video, I think it came out like 3 or 4 days ago. And again, he's also, as you can see by the title of the article that he's reading, he's going to talk about this 1904 World's Fair, tying in what the brother Aseer Duke was also talking about. But again, talking about how did this fake story of the American Indigenous, how did our story become buried in this fake story of these Black Americans take over. So here we go. Let's pop off with BlakJakk. Let's go.
Racism at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, Monaga. And before we start reading, I'll let y'all know I've always been fascinated by these World's Fairs and eugenics and test tube babies and mixing the races. It all go hand in hand in Darwinism. The World Fair go hand in hand with Charles Darwinism. It goes hand in hand with eugenics, the survival of the fit. It goes hand in hand with the mixed races. It goes hand in hand with test tube babies and mankind, Monaga.
Test tube babies.
We're gonna dig into it. Hey, knowledge seeker in the house, salute tribe up. Got history of racism at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, Monaga. And what do we have here? Well. I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute, Monaga. Alright, let's proceed. Samuel Phillips Verner. Look, now we're gonna take this slow, y'all, because I want y'all to understand what we're looking at here, no matter. And we gotta look right through lies and hey, Jack Salon in the house, salute tribe up.
Pull up,
Shakalaka!
Samuel Phillips Verner Center with random Africans. He bought at the behest of Louisiana Purchase Exposition. Okay, so he bought Africans in Louisiana. Right off, we got a discrepancy right away. How do we know they're Africans? You bought them in Louisiana. You didn't purchase them in Africa. Are we so sure they're Africans? And then this is how we know they're not Africans. Let's read this description very closely. It says Samuel Phillips Verner in the center. You know, these fairs and hoaxes. Samuel Phillips Verner with random so-called Africans he bought at the behest of Louisiana Purchase Exposition and passed them off as pygmies. Oh, hold up. You passing them off as something else? So how are we so sure they Africans? You passing them off as pygmies? You telling us they Africans? How are we so sure to believe anything you gotta say? And you bought them in Louisiana? Did you even buy them? 1904 World's Fair was St. Louis' first moment in the international spotlight. It was the first moment in the world spotlight, my nigga. International, all the nations. And the city, the fourth largest in the nation at the time, wanted to put out on its best face for the world. A small city was built in and around Forest Park to house display halls, music halls, restaurants, amusement parlors, just about everything you can imagine, including in a special hollow a group of pygmies supposed to be from Africa, but we know they just told us they're not even pygmies. I highly doubt they're from Africa. They were displayed in all their savageness. They were displayed in all their savageness.
Au bon sauvage, au Négré l'Amérique.
With a walkway over the top so white visitors could literally look down on their fellow human beings and point and laugh. As historian Angela De Silvia explains, this was a far different sort of display than America brought to the 1898 World's Fair in Paris. So it was far different from the 1898, only 6 years previously in Paris. This was far different. They say because in Paris, there was a special exhibit called, let's go. They ain't even talking Paris yet. I take that back. I'm speaking too soon. I'm jumping in. I'm going to tell y'all about Paris, but let's hold on. Let's continue with this source. I got some more we're going to look at. But they say the one in Paris in 1898 was far different than the one in St. Louis, where they got them looking like savages, right? They say there was a special exhibit called The Progress of the American Negro at the Paris 1898 World's Fair. The Progress, what? Not savage? The Progress of the American Negro, not African? Curated by W.E.B. Du Bois, De Silva says. One of the reasons Du Bois did it was to show that there wasn't a monolithic black, so-called black culture in America. A black man at Smithsonian was charged with finding books by black people for the exhibit. Du Bois was hoping for only 200 books, but he found 3,000 books by Nagas. 4 years later, black people couldn't get a drink of water on the fairgrounds in St. Louis. 4 years, they said, you Nagas can't even get no water, you savages. They said, you can't even get no water.
This everybody down ready.
Maxine crossing the house. Tribe up, Snoop, tribe up. Instinct in the house, tribe up. Hey, Instinct say everyone had wrenches. Yeah, hey, it look like it because only people I give wrenches is people down with me. The other people, they get booted, my nigga. That's why you don't see nothing but wrenches in here. You know what I'm saying? The other people, they got starred by their name. They members. That's how you get to be special. You got to try to get that membership. But yeah, all the cool people, everybody cool get a wrench. But they come here bush, they got funky Frenchmen come up in here, they getting booted. They ain't getting no wrench. They getting booted and blocked, my nigga. Hey, about to axe in the house. 4 years later, black people couldn't even get a drink, my nigga. They say 4 years later, you in St. Louis now, these colonizers came, flooded the land. They say, you niggas are savages, you piece of dirt. You can't even get a drink. Look how they talk bad about you, my nigga. The Silva's recent research reveals that while the 1904 World's Fair welcomed the international community to St. Louis, the invitation didn't extend to the black St. Louis. Damn, to the black St. Louis, the so-called black. They say they invited the whole world except the native people of St. Louis. The indigenous blacks of St. Louis, they say, y'all stay away. They say, we're trying to convince everybody you're from Africa and you're savages. Unless they wanted to work. That's the only way you could come if you're going to work, naga. You want to get in this cage and act like you were a pygmy? You want to get in this cage and play pygmy, you can come. You want to play pygmy, naga? Take a picture real quick. And passed off as a pygmy, my naga. On your own land. Yeah, you couldn't get a drink. They ain't want you there unless you was playing pygmy. It ain't extend no invitation to your ass. They said, stay away.
All right, so I'm going to stop that right there. There you have it. The whole world was there except for the Naga. And if you were a Naga there, you was doing a job. You were an actor. Okay? And it was always from day one somebody willing to do that. I mean, if you read accounts of explorers or whatnot, and they describe the people who are here in America, they will tell you that we had whole districts set up, and there were even whole districts where it was just entertainers there, people who danced and sang or walked on stilts or whatever they're performing. They were performers, and they lived in their own districts. Very similar to how I guess would be now, like in the Harlem Renaissance, I suppose. It was the same thing. So, I mean, it was always people around that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to perform and entertain. So those people, they took those jobs, maybe not realizing quite how they were selling this out. They probably didn't realize the big picture of what they were doing. I don't know. But at any rate, those were the only Nagas that were at those world fairs. And like Brother BlakJakk said, the whole world was there except us. Let me show you something. Before I show you what I want to show you, I'm going to read this right quick. It's Psalms 83. I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. For they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." Facts. All right, I wanted to show you this. This is a depiction. You could Google it. You would Google the International Exposition, the 1876 at Philadelphia, PA, United States of America. In other words, the 1876 World Expo in Philadelphia. This is a depiction, and when we talk about the scripture I just read, or what BlakJakk said, where the whole world was invited to these world fairs except for the Naga, this is a perfect depiction of that. So when you Google it, you'll be able to blow it up a little bit more. I can only blow it up so far. But I just want to show you, starting at the right, and we're going to move left across the screen. But if you just look, you can see the people, and you could tell by the way that they are dressed that they are from various lands, Eurasia, Europe, and Asia. And just scan across. I don't know how well you can see it here, but if you do Google and look, take a look. You can see that they are from various nations. And as you go across to the left, when you get to where it says 1876 at Philadelphia, if you look right above those, now you will see some dark, melanated appearing people. In fact, their faces appear to be black. But you will also notice that they are wearing top hats. And if you know that generally a top hat, that's a European thing. So we're going to assume educatedly that these are black Europeans, not the American Naga. All right, so let's continue across, going left. If you go to the far left, you can see a lady holding like a fan. It makes you notice that these are probably Asian people. And then right next, if you look up a little bit, you'll see more brown looking people, more melanated people. They're brown though, wearing feathers, looks like loincloths. I would say depicting Native Americans, because as BlakJakk just told you, The Naga wasn't invited unless he was doing a job. The whole world was there except for the Naga. So these right here, I'm going to call these the bench warmers. This is the second string they called in. The so-called replacements that were given, the Eurasians that were given the title Native American. They're here with their costumes on playing their little part. All right. And that's what we're going to say about that. So again, when you look at this, the whole world is here except for the Naga. All right. Now, here's the thing, is that even before I came into this truth, like when I looked at ADOS or FBA and they were talking about reparations and doing this and doing that, the thing that always bugged me is that nobody ever asked why it was happening to us, or nobody tried to answer why it was happening to us. And if you know anything about problem solving, then you know that in order to really solve a problem, you need to know the cause. You need to know why it's happening. All right? So when you following behind people who never want to deal with the why, you got a problem. You're not doing yourself a favor. You running in circles, okay? They got you all going in circles, FBA, ADOS. So here, let's deal with it. Let's talk about why is this happening? Why only one particular people on this planet that can have everything taken away from them, and they will take a shoestring and a stick and build a city with schools and hospitals and stores, and they're farming their land and they're irrigating their water. They might be flying their own airplanes. They're doing everything to thrive. And every single time what they have built is destroyed, it's going to be either burned down, they get flooded out, or something happens in order to break the Naga right back down. And it only happens to us over and over and over. Why? Let's talk about it. Hold up. Real quick, before we talk about why this happens, I just wanted to point out this one thing. This comes from Black Culture Unlocked on IG. This is just showing that during the times when all those world fairs were going on, in the mid to late 1800s through the early 1900s, this is what was going on with the American Naga. When the whole world was at the World Fair getting their scripts together and their lives together, the American Naga was being massacred, the cities being destroyed. You understand? That's what was happening. That's the Confederacy right there. All right. Now, let's talk about why. All right, so here we are with Mayaki, our good brother, 9Spiral. He is going to talk about why, but also I just want to point out that about 5 days ago, 9Spiral also put out a video breaking down the falsehood of the transatlantic slave trade as far as bringing Africans over to America over the Atlantic Ocean, and the falsities of that, the ridiculousness of that story. So if you want to hear more about that, go ahead and go over to 9Spiral's channel. Again, it was like 5 days ago talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, but now here we are. 9Spiral is breaking down these scriptures for us. This is like one of my favorite things that the Ak does. This here is called Understanding the End Times. Let me get that whole thing. Understanding the End Times, Part 1, with the Prophet Ezra. All right. So again, we are going to the why. Like, no man is talking about why. They don't got the answers. So you know me, I'm always going to go back to the Hebrew scriptures because it's got everything I need there, including the answer as to why this is happening to me and my people. So let's listen. Pop off, Aki.
Alright, flat water. Read.
The second book of the prophet Ezra, son of Sariah, son of Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Shallum, son of Zadok, son of Ahitub, son of Ahiah, son of Phinehas, son of Eli, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Meraioth, son of Arna, son of Uzi, son of Orith, son of Abishua.
Hold on, y'all. I'm going to bypass the genealogy. Give me a minute. Okay, continue.
Read on. The word of the Lord came to me, saying,
Come on.
Go and declare to my people their evil deeds,
My people.
and to their children the iniquities which they have committed against me, so that they may tell their children's children that the sins of their parents have increased in them.
Read.
For they have forgotten me and have offered sacrifices to strange gods.
Read.
Was it not I who brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage? But they have angered me and despised my counsels. Pull out the hair of your head and hurl all evils upon them, for they have not obeyed my law. They are a rebellious people.
A rebellious people, huh? So now you see why we in this mess, huh? And the crazy shit about it is that we still doing the same dumb shit to this day.
To this day. The same dumb shit. Y'all some idolaters, man. Y'all still doing that dumb shit. You still talking about somebody else. You still putting somebody else before our power. And you don't see nothing wrong with it. You attach that new nasty book to our book. It's saying the total opposite of what our Creator says. And you cool with that. You Yeshua, Yeshua Shai, Jesus folks, you still doing the same dumb shit. And that's why these curses are on us. So there you have it. That's it in a nutshell. I hope that my intention came across, and that is just to encourage my brothers and sisters in Israel to keep meditating on Torah. The path is narrow, y'all. We're going to watch his works, but don't look too long to the left or the right, because you might trip up and fall. You understand? Right, so once again, I want to say thank you, Tawada, to Aseer, the Duke of Tears. I want to say thank you to BlakJakk at the House of Cons. I want to say thank you to 9Spiral for the work, for putting this little lesson together for all of us. These are seeds. They've been sown. Water them and make them grow.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise in the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow.
All right, y'all.
Step 4,
once again, I hope you have a beautiful week ahead. Take care of yourself, mind, body, spirit. Meditate on Torah. All praises to the Most High, our Mother and Father above. Shalom.